What's up, everyone? You tune in to Rightfully Structured. I want to touch on the subject of be careful with burning the wrong bridges. We all got decisions out here, you know what I'm saying? You can live your own life, do what you want to do, but the last thing you want to do is affect your ability to move forward with the right people. It's a lot of people are very selfish of how they do things and the time that they want to invest in the people that really should matter in their life. That's why it's good to work on yourself so that you understand what you're doing fully and you can observe and see these things if they're happening to you. I had to learn the hard way on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. And in a sense, I don't regret it. When I sit back and I think about all my hardships, stuff that I've been through, it's like I don't really regret it because how could you know exactly where you stand or who you are sometimes if you're not going through something? A lot of times we look at these situations and we look at it in a negative light. Sometimes these situations that you're going through are just lessons for you to grow. And if you're not taking it in correctly and moving forward, then it just becomes a cycle. You have to know when to just move forward, to be honest. We all got intuition, but this is the thing. How you look at things can affect everything. I let a lot of stuff slide. Not necessarily that I wasn't observant of it, but I didn't look in it deeper out of respect. Because when I respect somebody and I look at you in a different place, I feel like I shouldn't have to look over you a certain way just to see certain things. But the sad thing about it, you have to. Because if you don't, you can basically be blinded into something that is going to reflect. Eventually, it's gonna hit you hard. Like, wow, I can't believe this. If you truly care about somebody, like like people say they do, then stand on it. Don't pretend to be. Really be there. And if you feel that you're not able, then leave the situation with respect. Don't burn the bridge because you feel like you don't care or this high horse type of stuff. But really, at the end of the day, it's just an ego. That's just helping you. I mean, I'm still learning, but I'm definitely speaking from experience. That's why I'm talking. It's not about, oh, you have to live this certain way of life and try to be better than everybody. Nah, that's not the case. The better you see things, the better things will be. That's just all it is. You don't have to change your whole life and start doing all these things out of your, that would just change you drastically and make you feel like out of place. Change comes with time. But this is the thing, you have to be aware of change. You can't say one day I'm changing this, I'm doing that, and then all of a sudden 2 days later now you're back on something else and you didn't forgot what you said, and then you go through something now, all of a sudden you're back to changing. No, you're losing yourself. The same way that people out here doing their best at jobs, the same way that you do great at whatever you like, you have to put that same energy into changing and not burning bridges. It's been situations I played neutral on it until I got confirmation on certain things. If I wasn't sure of it, I'm not going to just burn a bridge. I play it neutral until I know what's going on. It's about knowing. It's not really about assumptions. Assuming could be very dangerous because it doesn't really end, especially if you don't have control of your mind. Try to understand your worth so that you can see what you're facing. The more you know yourself, the better it helps you recognize things out here, so you'll know what's good for you, know what's not good for you, and it will help you determine how you want to go forward with certain situations so you're not burning bridges. It's about knowing. Can't let your ego take the lead and have you making rational decisions off of how you feel or what you assume. Because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, when they snap out of that type of situations, then they realize like, dang, what, all this wasn't true, that wasn't true. Or perhaps, I mean, it's situations people self-sabotage it and they don't even realize it. They're burning bridges in so many ways and don't even see it. It's like by the time it's done, it's like you didn't ruin yourself. But I tell you what, not me. I don't really care what nobody say, because this is the thing though. If if I feel some kind of way about something, I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna talk to you. But it's not always going to be equal. I'm very aware that it's not always going to be equal. People not always going to speak their truth. They're not always going to look at the better interest of the relationship that you have, whatever relationship it is, friend, whatever. That's not everybody's concern. They're more trapped in their head of how they feel and what they should do or what they're not going to do, but they're not concerned about your feelings. So you have to see these things. It's like driving. You're just driving and you're not paying attention to the stop signs, the traffic light. You go out there and try to do that and see where it gets you. It's like the same thing. Eventually you're gonna crash. For the ones that have the wrong intent in situations, basically trying to lie or convince people stuff that's not true. Doing everything to have a certain kind of attention. That's a form of burning bridges too, because if you gotta lie about everything just to form some type of attention for yourself to feel good, where does it end? It's not going to end good. It's not going to end good. You might get your kicks in the beginning. You might get your kicks in the beginning. But what's going to happen in the end? You get this high horse in the beginning. You might have people looking at you a certain way, lying and everything else. But when you lie, you gotta tell more lies. You gotta tell more lies. You gotta tell more lies. And then eventually, these people, they forget. People start walking away from you. People start, don't want to deal with you because they see that you just, you full of it. You burning bridges. You telling stories. Nobody want to deal with that. Well, a lot of people probably do because that's their kind. That's what you accept. You got to be truly aware of what you want. Because what you putting out there, eventually that's what you're going to get. And Lord knows, you slandering and you doing the wrong stuff to the wrong person because you got away with stuff for so long, or you feel because of certain little situations that you got away with something on somebody. Nah, I don't. Gotta wake up. We all got a purpose. Life, we're not just put on this planet just to be walking around and, just trying to do whatever we want to do, which we can. But we all got a purpose. It's a reason for this. And a lot of people don't know. So you run around and you doing stuff, burning all these bridges, not knowing you gotta answer for all the stuff. Even if you don't answer for it, you gotta live with that. Don't matter where you move, it don't matter where you go, you gotta answer for it. You're gonna remember this stuff because it's gonna hit hard. It's gonna be like, oh, yeah, I know that wasn't right. I don't care how what you try to do. You can drink yourself to death, you can drug yourself to death. It doesn't matter what you do. And that's just gonna make it worse because that puts you in a ill mind state to the point that you gonna be thinking negative about everything, avoiding, trying to deal with your situations, emotions, or handling your burnt bridges correctly, or just addressing the bridges that you burn. It might not seem like it's nothing, but it is something. Correcting your situations, mending situations, even having just closing it out correctly, all this stuff matters. That's how you form good karma. You're on the good side of karma, should I say. But you gotta open your minds. For real. I'm very aware. We all got this little voice inside of us that lets us know things. And it's you, but really it's your intuition telling you how to deal with things. But if you continuously to burn bridges and do things your way, you gotta accept your outcome. You gotta accept that. You can't blame anybody for your issues and what you choose to do. Because if you're not taking the time to actually fix these situations with yourself, you can't blame anybody else. It don't work like that. Especially if you're an adult. If you're an adult, yeah, gotta take responsibility. The more you run from all these situations that you could be fixing to better yourself and better yourself or your family or whatever, you're losing yourself. You're not going to be familiar with yourself. People around you, they're probably going to be growing and they're going to start seeing you for who you are because if you're truly growing, you're going to see people for who they are around you. You're going to see it. There's no way around it. If you're truly experiencing growth, you can't pretend that. And when I say see, I mean see, not just with your eyes. You're going to know it. You're just going to feel it. Before you act out on a situation, take the time to actually think so you're not burning any bridges. It's about giving people the benefit of the doubt. If you truly care, have respect for somebody, you hold them in honor until further notice, until whatever. You don't just go off of what people say. You find out for yourself. Especially if you care for them. You know, that's like rule number one. You don't assume. You don't go behind a person's back, talk behind their back. I said this before. If I said something about somebody, it was just basically knowing already know the situation. It's not talking behind somebody back. If it's a legit statement, then I just leave it at that. It's not something that I can't say to somebody's face, and it's not something I won't say to somebody's face. And I always been like that. 9 times out of 10, I already said these things to somebody. It's the reason why I talk about it if I bring it up, but I don't live it. I don't live other people's problems. Got to understand that, especially if you have kids out here, not burning bridges and just dealing with things correctly would benefit how kids see things also because they very observant. I had to learn that a while ago. So they're gonna see things. Kids are not stupid. That's why I try to fully tap in and keep it real with kids because people try to just pamper and buy things all the time. That's not really where it's at. It's not about that. Having that feeding that mind the correct way is the true giving. So that they have an understanding of not burning bridges or whatever. I'll give an example. My daughter, she had some issues with friends, and we talked about it. And this is what way back, but I gave her what she need to know. Now, she's not a she's not a kid of many words, but it was like some time went by, and I was like, "Hey, where your friend?" Because I didn't hear anything about her, I didn't see her, none of that. So she was like, "Yeah, I don't deal with her anymore," and it kind of shocked me. I tried to keep a straight face because the way she said it, but I was like, "What happened?" He was like, she realized that she's been lying and just starting stuff with her, and she realized she's not her friend. But it made me proud because I knew that she paid attention to what I said, and I spoke something that really means something to her, that I knew would mean something to her to benefit her, to make better decisions and not just burn bridges and just dealing with stuff correctly. But some situations you don't have control of. So if you feel like you're trying not to, you're trying to deal with things correctly, but it's not working correctly, then just let the bridge burn. Just gotta let it burn, because it's going to become obvious that it's not for you, in whatever case it may be. The signs are there. It's just really how we look at it and how we choose to go forward with it. The signs are there. You can lie to yourself, but this is the thing. You're sitting there, you're lying to yourself of how you want to see things, and everybody else around you or everybody else can see everything for what it is. But probably because nobody's approaching you or whatever the case may be, they're allowing it to happen, but they see what's going on. So the whole time you think you're doing something, but you're just lying to yourself. That's why you got to know yourself. Keep it real with yourself. Some bridges can be repaired. It probably started a fire, but sometimes the fire can be put out and the bridge can be repaired. It's just really determined on the person or the people. You're not standing in your truth. You don't want to hold yourself accountable for your actions. Don't blame nobody for the outcomes that come with it, based off of your feelings. Don't work like that. You choose what you choose. If you want things to be better, you got to put that energy out there. You can't have that mind state, I want things a certain way, but then yet you're running around putting negative energy out there everywhere and wondering why things are happening. Please tell me how that works. Come on now. Nah, I ain't expect this video to be that long, but thank you for listening. Hit the like button, subscribe. Until next time.